You're telling me that during the war you were down at Morton, Texas, and so Galveston, Texas. And so I guess the first thing that I've wondered and several people have asked is if you were down there, how did you and Grandpa meet, and how did you get back into Tillman County?
Grandpa came to see us in Kentucky after the war. And he'd go around and stay at different one's house for a month or two. And so he came to see us.
So he knew your family from back when y'all lived in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Grandpa. And so I decided that I think Mother had a wreck too, and I decided I want to go to Lowell. And so I was going to leave. So Grandpa wanted me to come stay with him. Granny had died. And so that was good enough for me. And so Freddie Wade, he stayed there in Kentucky with Arlene. And I went to Lubbock and then on to Grandpa's at Tipton.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, some way, and I've forgotten how I did, it was too mixed up, but some way or another, I went out to Lubbock, and Freddie Wade and I came back together to Grandpa's. I brought Freddie Wade with me. And so we stayed with Grandpa until I met Merl. And, but in the meantime, let's back up here.
Okay.
I worked at the drugstore, and Freddie Wade and I went to at Tipton. We went back to see Arlene and decided to stay back there with them for, I guess we stayed back there about a year. No, not that long. Anyway, we decided to come back to stay with Grandpa because he was lonesome. And so we came back, and Gene McDonald, who owned the drugstore, he wanted me to work for him again. And Freddie Wade, he worked at the drugstore after school, and he stayed with me and Grandpa. And so then, whenever I met Merl, and so whenever we got married, that left Freddie Wade and Grandpa. And he decided that, well, really, he liked the girl that Tipton real well. In fact, the mayor of Tipton, what's his name?
Huff, Marvin.
Marvin Huff. Well, his sister was Ladine. Freddie Wade and Ladine, they liked each other.
Huh.
And really, he would have stayed there longer, but he got homesick to see Arlene. And she came through on her way to Kentucky after being out in Lowell, and he decided he was going to go back, stay with her back there.
Yeah.
So I got married, and Freddie Wade went back to Kentucky and stayed back there for a while, and then came back to Lowell. So
how long did you know my grandpa, Merl, before y'all got married?
I don't remember, Jed. I don't know. I knew for some time, but I really couldn't say exactly.
Yeah.
I just all those things seem to be so mixed up. It's just hard. You wouldn't believe all the different places and times. We went from one place to another. I just don't remember really.
Yeah. But it was while you were.
But whenever I married, that left Freddie Wade by himself with Grandpa, and so anyway, we couldn't. Well, it wasn't right that he stayed with us, and so he went on to Arlene's.
And so y'all got married, and now his family's all from the Tipton area.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, your grandpa lives, outside of Frederick. So what made y'all head down to Davidson way?
Let's see, Merl had bought that farm, the North Farm that we had. And it was awful. I mean, really the road you couldn't get out if it rained. And, you know, there wasn't any telephones or anything like that. So let's see, Gene was born there. And so anyway, I think Grandpa Merle's dad might have signed for us a note for us to buy the farm where we lived. I think that's right, Jim. And so we bought the place where we lived whenever the kids were born, all except Gene and I think Gene was the only one that was born to North Place. I'd have to go back and think real hard, Jim. Not so much has happened.
Yeah.
Like that, and did fine, and then lots of hard times happened, and so he went to work for the. He got a job at Wichita Falls, driving back and forth for I believe it was one of the airports there. It was. It still is. Anyway, he went to work there whenever it came up that there was a job opening at Altus as a fireman.
Yeah.
He applied for it, and so he got it, and so the kids and I, David and Jimmy, all did the work that we could whenever he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So that's the way it went.
All right.